Hey guys, Antonio Rodriguez here. My goodness, the day was hot. 2016 is almost over, so anticipated lists of the next year, it started riled up. For good reason, because some of the trailers for next year have come out, like the latest of them is The Fate and the Furious, which is completely stupid because I hate the title and I don't like the trailer because it doesn't feel right, and it doesn't feel like a continuation of Furious 7. It feels more like Vin Diesel trying to make a turn to the dark side story. More on that if I ever do the trailer review. But I'm gonna read off from my letterbox list of my top 15, but it's actually gonna be top 10. So the 5 that's gonna be left out is gonna be the honorable mentions. Honorable mention number 1 is Captain Underpants, and you probably won't have an idea what the property is. Only reason why I'm looking forward to it is because I read the books as a kid. I grew up with the books, and the only thing I'm worried about is Kevin Hart.
Of course.
Just to put it simply, it's Kevin Hart. He's put as the George character from the books, because when I read the books, I never thought I need this guy who screams a lot to be George. That's more than being idiotic, and for some reason they did a Lorax again where they cast adult actors to play kids that don't make convincing kid voices. Because if you look at the Iron Giant, it actually sounds like a freaking kid. Honorable mention number 2 is Power Rangers. That trailer that came out a couple months ago actually really won me over with its dark tone and Bryan Cranston's comments comparing it to the Dark Knight or Batman Begins, you know, one in terms of tone. Got me intrigued because if you look at my letterbox, Batman Begins is on my top 5 of best films I ever watched. Just that lore and origin and stuff that really makes me looking forward to it. Next is Coco. Coco is the second Pixar film coming out next year, other than Cars. I'm actually looking forward to Coco more than Cars 3, even though Cars 3 has the intriguing premise and the awesome trailer that actually says, alright, we're not going to make these for kids anymore, we're trying to appeal to the adult area. It felt more like they're trying to get me interested in the Cars franchise again, because, put in 2 words, Cars 2. No pun intended. I didn't like Cars 2, and you will know from my letterbox list, it's last. And it's obvious that it's the worst Pixar film ever made. And Coco is more of an original story about Mexicans. Donald Trump might not approve of it, but it's a Mexican holiday film. And the concept art came out for it, and I'm still looking forward to it a lot more than Cars 3. And I like what Pixar does, so I'm intrigued at what they're going to do with Coco. Number 4 in honorable mentions, Dunkirk. Reasons? I'm a Christopher Nolan fan. Anything he does, I'm looking forward to it. Even though it has Harry Styles in it, I wonder if he's going to die in it, because I'd rather see him dying and have a major part, or if Christopher Nolan can somehow use his magic to make Harry Styles a great actor. Number 5 in honorable mentions is The Wall. That trailer, man, it's so intriguing, and watching Nocturnal Animals really won me over with Aaron Taylor Johnson's acting capabilities. After Godzilla and Age of Ultron, I didn't think he's a good actor because he seems to pick any role that makes him look very crap. He never won me over with his stupid accent, and I don't want him back in the MCU because he's so easily the worst actor out of all of them. So at least I cut Edward Norton some slack. But Nocturnal Animals, man, he won me over. He got the presence he needs for that role, and he should do more drama picks other than doing Godzilla 2. And doing it with John Cena! And the director of The Bourne Identity makes me a little bit intrigued of what they're going to do with this film. Is it going to be 27 hours where they stay in one location the whole time? Or is it just going to be one of those very bad drama picks? Now, finally to the 10 films I'm looking forward to this year. And I gotta start off with number 10 being John Wick. Chapter 2. John Wick Chapter 2 is of course a sequel to John Wick that came out 3 years ago, and you know my rating of it is 4 out of 5. It's for good reason. It's one of the best action films ever made in this decade. It's easily one of the best. Except in the year it was released, it was has to compete with the Raid 2 as the greatest action film of this decade. And I still personally think Raid 2 is much better than John Wick, but John Wick has that unique memorability that stands out. I love Keanu Reeves as the title role. The direction is always good, but I hope that John Wick 2 continues the direction, Keanu being the badass, and hopefully the Matrix reunion is worth it. And hopefully it doesn't get sequelitis, that only the action's good but not the storyline. Number 9 is Life. I never heard of this property, but I was intrigued when I heard Jake Gyllenhaal was in it. I was like, sign me up. Because Jake Gyllenhaal is one of those actors who you have to pay attention to a career. He can be good in one movie and then bad in the next. I was really looking forward. I was looking forward to Nocturnal Animals just to see what Jake Gyllenhaal does. By goodness, he really became one of my top 5 performances of the year. Number 3, behind Andrew Garfield in Hacksaw Ridge and Anton in Green Room. And also having Ryan Reynolds is definitely a bonus. Because if you add Ryan Reynolds to anything, it's gonna have a lot more character towards the film. And the way the trailer looks, it looks like what made Alien great. The first Alien, not Alien 3 or 4. I've seen Aliens and Aliens. They're both great in their respective films. And the Fear Factor is definitely up there as one of the best horror films. But I have to rewatch it a couple more times to understand the masterpiece those two were. Yeah, and it's actually close to Earth. Sign me up. Number 8 is Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 2. Guardians of the Galaxy, I thought it was very overrated.
Bullshit.
When I first watched it, I didn't laugh at once. I only laughed at the Kevin Bacon joke, and that's pretty much it. I thought it was a little bit overrated. I didn't like the villain. He felt like too much cookie cutter, and it only took me a lot more rewatches to actually appreciate it more and laugh a little bit more for the jokes I missed. And I have high hopes for Volume 2 too. It continues the same crew, and the trailers really got me because of that last joke in the last trailer. It was one of the best trailer jokes I watched. I laughed out loud so hard that I didn't believe what I watched. I didn't expect that joke. I will not ruin it for you, but it's worth watching that trailer. Why this low? Because for obvious reasons, I said earlier, I thought the first one was a little bit overrated. I only got one over from the trailer. And having Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell, getting the All-Stars in there as supporting characters, that's also a bonus. Number 7 is War for the Planet of the Apes. Rise, thumbs up. Dawn, thumbs up. War. We don't really know what's going to happen with War for the Planet of the Apes. From the trailer alone, it already looks amazing. It's amazing in tone, and it's a continuation of the storyline that is left off in Dawn. I hope all the human character performances are top-notch and on point. And I can't say anything about Andy Serkis. He's easily the best part of those films. And I hope the action is very good because Dawn's more of the drama pick. Rise is the origin story. War is obviously a war film. That's how I sum up the genres in these 3 films. War film, obviously. Dawn, action drama film. Rise, an origin. That's how I sum it. This pick for number 6 was originally number 2 until I have a thought about it and watched the Ultimate Edition of Batman vs Superman. It do make me hugely worried about the future of this universe. It's obviously Justice League. Justice League is still directed by Zack Snyder, but I'm still looking forward to it because I always wanted to see them in the big screen. I like Batman vs Superman for like 86% a portion of it. With the Ultimate Edition, it was like around 75 because of the 11% off was the Clark Kent scenes. My goodness, they freaking mistreated him. And Zack Snyder directing Justice League is a crime. He should be sentenced to jail for murdering a very great character that in the comics that stands for truth and justice in the American way, and he has to kill off Superman. Sorry, spoiler. I thought you saw the film already. And Zack Snyder is my major issue. If the film sucks, I'll point it to him, because every film I watched from his, I liked. And it became my guilty pleasure. I liked 300. I loved Watchmen. I liked Man of Steel. I gave it a 5 out of 5 because I have no criticism against it. Couldn't come out with it, other than drawing others' opinions towards mine. Batman vs Superman, I only liked, as I said, 86% a portion of it. Justice League makes me hugely worried because its storyline might not work. Zack Snyder might influence the script over Jeff Johns is hugely worried for Jeff Johns' influence over the film be influenced more by Zack Snyder and more his visual treat. I get really sick of Zack Snyder. Really sick of him. He needs to go away so we can enjoy the DC films as the way they should be. Suicide Squad could have worked for everyone, but I liked it. I gave it a 4.5 when I first watched it, and then I toned it down to 4 because I realized I rated it too high. Yeah, I don't want Zack Snyder to direct the Justice League films. Superman better come back and treat it right. Number 5 is Wonder Woman. The only DC film I'm looking forward to next year, other than Justice League. This was among the top 4 picks for next year that I'm looking forward to. Gal Gadot definitely was very good in Batman vs Superman. I'm very interested in how she's going to handle a big title film like that by herself. Because all that everyone known her for was the Fast and Furious franchise. I was like, what? When I casted her, because she didn't felt right. She didn't felt like the acting presence that requires to be Wonder Woman. It stands for truth and justice and stands for women. And directed by Patty Jenkins is definitely a good sign. And I kind of find it odd that she was fired or turned down from Thor: The Dark World because of creative issues. I wonder what the creative issue was about. Anyone can help me in the comments. I'll welcome that. But it's kind of, you can't call it sexist for Marvel turning down a female director. As far as I remember, they don't have a female director on their lineup. As for next films, all dudes directing films, and you kind of find it odd that all the guys are getting into Marvel jobs, and I would like to see a female director have a hand in it. And I'm gonna research after this video and put a correction on the title of this video just to make sure that Marvel has a female director. Hopefully it's for Captain Marvel, because I would like a female director to tackle on a female superhero. And of course this is the first female superhero in a decade. I think the last was Elektra or Catwoman. Either of those. I'm intrigued to see what history I could learn from World War I from little conversations. Because I love the history of our planet. World War I, World War II, onwards. I'm always intrigued. Number 4 is Kingsman. The Golden Circle. Why October? It had a June release date. Why October? Release it in the summer. Or winter. Come on. Obviously I'm a fan of the first Kingsman. I loved it to death. It's one of my favorite films I ever watched. I never will get that experience from watching this film ever again from the first time. I always loved the first time viewings. First time viewings can give you a great impression. I saw this twice in the movie theater because this film was very good. As for the sequel, I have high hopes because it has The Statesman that was led by Jeff Bridges, Channing Tatum, and Channing Tatum really won me over with Jump Street films in terms of comedic ability, so hopefully Matthew Vaughn makes sure that they're all funny. And I will hate the film to be delayed until 2018. I want it now! I want it in March, I want it in February, I want it in July, my birthday! I want to see it now! Yeah, and also I'm glad that everyone's returning. And I still wonder how they're gonna handle Colin Firth's character situation. Number 3 is obviously Logan. I didn't really have a big thought about it when the production was going on. I was like, how are you gonna do it for Hugh Jackman's last role? You gonna do Old Man Logan? And hopefully he's rated R or MA 50+ over here. I had optimism about the project. And when that trailer was released, I could not stop watching that trailer. I was locked onto it. And I had to repeat, and it keeps rising up the list, causing a couple of films to get knocked out, which was Dunkirk, would have made the 10th spot if Logan didn't have that good trailer. And being a player of The Last of Us, obviously from my previous video, I felt Last of Us vibes, and cast Hugh Jackman as Joel! Come on! Get the film done! Because I want a Last of Us film! Come on! The last performance by Hugh Jackman is definitely a bonus because he is the Wolverine after all, and yeah, then it's gonna be a tearjerker once the film comes out. And from those that seemed like the first 40 minutes of the film, it gives me huge hopes for the film, and hopefully it rebounds from the all above average film called X-Men Apocalypse. I liked it at first, giving it a 4, and then when I thought about it, it was 3.5, and then 3, and I will stand at 3. It's definitely not going to be 2.5, because it's way above average. I will explain why in my disappointing films of 2016 after I see Assassin's Creed. Number 2. It stood on this number 2 spot for a whole time. During the course of this year, I knew it's number 2 from the first thing Civil War comes out. First thing when I hear 2017 release date. I'm gonna cut the balls. It's my anticipated Marvel movie from next year is Spider-Man Homecoming. I give you reasons why. Number 1, Tom Holland's the standout in Captain America Civil War. Even though I didn't think it's one of the greatest superhero films of all time, never thought that. But Black Panther and Spider-Man are both the standouts in that film, where it feels odd the whole time when I watched it, and I will get into it in my future video on Captain America Civil War. I never liked the Homecoming title. Everyone! Because it doesn't felt right, because I would rather have, I'm going to retitle it when I end the video, call it Spectacular Spider-Man, because that's what it feels like more to me. I watched the animated Spectacular Spider-Man. That is an awesome cartoon show about Spider-Man. That's what I thought the title was going to be, Marvel. Just call it Spectacular Spider-Man. Give it a Homecoming. Put the Spectacular Spider-Man Homecoming. Done! Instead you have to make it look like a sequel to Spider-Man 3 by removing the Amazing with Homecoming. Other than the title problems, the trailer for it came out, and it definitely gave me huge hopes. And I hope Michael Keaton draws in a good performance as the Vulture, because we already got, since we got established Spider-Man, hopefully we get a very good Vulture and a very good Shocker, because I know I want to see Shocker. And trivia fact, when Spider-Man 4 was in development before it got cancelled, Vulture was considered a villain. I would have liked to see the Vulture in the film, and played by Michael Keaton, who's putting a good acting resurgence since Spider-Man is definitely a good sign. But hopefully they don't continue the trend that MCU keeps on doing, is make these villains look horrible and only make the standouts looking like Loki for being a very good villain. I think he's a good villain, not great. Zemo for almost good villain, and everyone else. That guy from Ant-Man, that's close to being good, but not as close as Zemo's got to. I have nothing else to say about the villain. Hopefully, Vulture is, like I said, Vulture needs to be a standout of the film. Just to turn the tide of the MCU trend of bad villains. I'm probably going to do it, do a marathon of MCU films for Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I've already did a couple of reviews, being Ant-Man, Age of Ultron, and Doctor Strange. So I don't really have to do a massive catch-up. I only need to do Iron Man trilogy, Captain America Winter Soldier, which ironically was supposed to be my first movie review, but I got copyright striked, so I had to take it down. I never finished the video ever again. Quite obvious. It's Star Wars Episode 8. Whatever the title is gonna be, hopefully the title's revealed by the time I end this video. I've been looking forward to Episode 8 a lot more than Rogue One. For good reasons. Rogue One's a spin-off, have nothing to prove. From when I first saw the trailer, I felt pulled off and I felt like we needed Rogue One story about the Death Star plans. And this is obviously recorded before I saw Rogue One. Opinions can change from my recording. I'm always looking forward to the episodes, and when you see the 2019 list, you guaranteed that you're gonna see Episode 9 on that list. And Han Solo is only number 5, like I put Rogue One for this year's list. Spin-offs are never really that make me that excited. Only thing that will make me excited for 2020 is Obi-Wan's spin-off. I will get excited for that. Episode 8. You already know my review of Episode 7. I loved it. I gave it a 5 out of 5. It was originally 4.5. I had to give it a 5 out of 5. I had no problems. And it's one of the best midnight screenings I ever watched. I'm gonna hopefully see it again in midnight, where you don't hear spoilers. Closest thing for Australia to get spoiled from is the ones who got it first in New Zealand. I loved everyone in the Episode 8, and I will admit I'm a Star Wars fan for life. I got Episode 7, a complete Star Wars saga on Blu-rays. I got them, and that proves that I'm a legit Star Wars fan. I do and I die Star Wars. Until it starts to suck like Assassin's Creed, where I forced not being a fan of it anymore because they turn out the same stuff all the time. Before I end the video, I'm gonna make a little announcement. You probably remember the YouTube channel called Justin Chipman Show, right? Me and Justin have been talking about this for a few months. We're creating a new channel together, and it's gonna be called the Forest Podcast. It's gonna be continuing our live streams, but it's gonna be a podcast. It's gonna be the exact same format, and this for our first episode on that channel will be with guests. And hopefully it's going to be mostly me and Justin all the time, talking about any topic every 2 weeks. At least that's I hope. I'll put a link in the description below. As soon as it's finished construction, I'll talk with Justin more on when the date is done. He told me on Facebook just to tell everyone about the channel. I thought, alright. And I had to make a video about it, and it's my anticipated videos list. And funny enough, I made one for 2015 once. It's very crap, and number 2 was Episode 7, and I felt embarrassed for putting Episode 7 on number 2, because number 1 was Age of Ultron, where I felt like I gave it a little bit of overrated rating of 4.5. Maybe 4 was fine, but 3.5 is just fine. I thought that's a good rating for the film it is. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it let me know in the comments, or send me the link to your letterbox if you have it, about your anticipated films 2017. Chances are I might have saw yours already. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and may the Force be with you. And where's Ray?